I can't do all those dances if I try, even in a chair.
I can't take you anywhere. What are you doing over there?
I know.
Good Lord. Well,
I'm a mess.
I mean, other than that though, I anticipate you're pretty good.
Not at dancing, but otherwise, yes.
You're a lot more colorful on your walls than I am on mine.
Oh, well, I have the kittens, and I have
Mhm.
the floors.
I got like beige.
Yeah.
I know I need to do something about it. I know.
You only have like 4,000 quilts. Like, oh my
Um,
goodness. Okay. Jill's at a lower volume. Let's see if I can make Jill louder. Okay. Well, you have to save something for me to know whether I made you louder.
this is coming from the person who speaks the minute I go, like I'm ready to talk. I mean, it sounds good to me.
Okay. I'm just gonna raise the volume a little bit. There we go.
Mm.
Hopefully that worked. A little bit, a little bit. Well, happy Saturday. I'm sweating.
Wow. I actually turned on my fireplace because it's just a bit nippy. And
Mm.
my poor puppy who's sleeping right now, the last time you guys saw her, she was a little Wookie teddy bear thing. She got
Oh, you shaved
shaved,
her.
so she's a chihuahua and she's chilly.
Poor baby. She should come here. It is almost 75 degrees. Actually, it's probably pretty nice today. It's been in the 80s, and like
Yeah, it was hot.
we're supposed to get back down into the 50s.
Yeah, it was hot. It's 60 here.
Yeah, it's
But yes,
I,
those couple of nights that were really warm were one
a
of
little
them I did not sleep well at all.
yeah, a little stuffy. We had the windows open, but yeah, we don't like to have our windows open downstairs because we're on the periphery of crime-ridden neighborhood.
Well,
We really
aren't
probably
you
are
also
the
on a
crime-ridden neighborhood.
aren't you also on a street that's really dusty?
Well, we're on like a major thoroughfare. Like it's a two-lane road,
Mhm.
but it's still a major thoroughfare into Pennsylvania, and it's a snow
Mhm.
emergency route. So, I mean, I think everybody but like 18-wheelers can come down our road.
Oh,
So,
really? We get umpteen 18-wheelers down our road, going fast as well, and it's a school zone.
Robin has had some cold days and overnight freezing, and today it's 56 on its way to 70.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, Robin,
Robin,
you and I are like the same today.
I can never get a grip on the weather in the Reno area because it always seems to be like, oh, it's snowing there. Oh, it's like 102 there. Oh, but it's snowing now. It's just as unreliable as our weather, I think. Um, yeah, and I'm glad to hear you're feeling better, Robin. But yeah, it sounds like um you gotta let the you gotta let the surgery and all that stuff like you gotta catch up. Um, neither can you when you live there.
Yeah, Robin, Stephanie, fill me in on what was going on with you. I'm very glad to hear that things are looking better.
Yeah. Oh
Stuff
my
is
gosh.
crazy.
Yeah, so scary. Um, a dead end road where one can drive 55, and you may have flurries. Oh, Marianne, I cannot keep up with Michigan either.
You know, our friend in Minnesota, she had a hailstorm yesterday
Oh my
and
god.
flurries potential today. I'm sorry I'm so like nasal right now, you guys. I know that I had mentioned that I was taking a trip up to Vermont for a few days. I ended up not going because I woke up sick that morning and didn't think it was appropriate to get my friend that I'd be sharing a hotel room sick. I'm feeling better, but I'm still got some nasalness going on. It also means I don't have like pretty pictures to show.
Hmm. Well, I yeah, I I'm nasally all the time, so and even more so that we have had the windows open, and Yeah.
And then once you get the AC on,
Oh my god, I'm not even looking forward to that. I see it over
well,
there. I'm like, I don't want to turn it on because I know I'll just be a mess. And I
one
clean
thing
it out. I clean it out every year before I turn it on, and it still just like sucks the pollen and everything in. And
I can report is that since the last time we were here and Vanessa and I were going through quilts, um we did go to that, study day that was, dealer day for New England Quilt Study Group.
Mhm.
I had 5 bags of quilts, including one large, like industrial sized trash bag. The other ones were mostly IKEA, those are big blue IKEA bags. We got through 3 bags, including the large trash bag. To be honest with you, we probably could have gotten through one more bag, but a couple other gals had brought a few things for us to look at as well. So
And
we were cooking
did
with
you not
gas.
accidentally come home with one more quilt than you left with? All right,
Maybe,
sorry. We won't talk about that, I guess.
maybe, maybe. Um, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I left that one in the car. Um, we got through a bunch of stuff. Some of it was like cooler than others, although you guys saw pretty much everything I think that we looked at. Yeah, you guys picked
Hmm.
out most of it. Um, so yeah, and people had a good time because what was really nice is we had like 9 people around the table, of varying degrees of like knowledge around like quilt study. So it was also kind of a great like teaching day
Oh, nice.
for people to like, kind of get their feet wet and ask more questions about like we had a whole discussion on, turkey reds and the color fastness. One quilt I was showing had, fugitive purple. Then we were also looking at some stuff where, some browns had been disintegrating, which is really common. Like, yeah, it was a good day. People had fun, nice and low key, low stakes. It's great when we visit institutions and things, but it's a bit of a heavier lift in terms of planning, getting yourself there, expectations. And I don't know about you, but like I've mentioned here a million times, museums and things, I love them, but they're just an overload. They make me really tired.
Yeah, and I think we always our eyes are bigger than our stomach anytime that we take on museum stuff because we're like, gotta see everything. Ah!
So yeah, our next like event for the group will be going back to Block Island that you will be attending. You will be attending. You put it on out there.
Yep, putting it out there.
Put it out there. Um, and I'm so nervous for going back to Block Island because the bar is so high. We
Mm.
constantly talk about a lot of things out in the world where like the bar is like in hell. No, not this one. The bar is really high up there because last year the weather was perfection. And the reason that matters, other than the fact that like you're on an island and like it's nice out and you don't want to be there in crappy weather, but like if the weather's really crappy, they'll shut down the ferry
Yeah, I
and
was
then
gonna
we
say
just
it's kind
can't
of
go.
dangerous when the weather's not good when you're on a
Right.
small barrier island, right?
Right. So like that can just, it's one of those things where like the ferry can literally cancel us and we can't do anything about it. So the weather was perfect. We had great turnout. Everyone was in a fantastic mood. Everything went according to plan. Nobody got lost, you just when it's everyone else's job to like get themselves to a place, like just stuff can happen. No one got
Yeah.
arrested, like nothing weird happened.
Well, I'll be going this year, so maybe we can change that. Nobody got arrested.
Stephanie's got hashtag goals. So yeah, I'm really hoping that are you okay?
Yeah, I think my bangs have like just.
You look like one of them's trying to curl.
Hmm. I'm a little sweaty, so not good air circulation in this corner. So yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's not better when you've like partitioned yourself off with heavy blankets.
Right? Darn quilts. Actually, because this is a baby quilt, I have one of my partitions is open here, so I get a little bit
Mhm.
of airflow, but there's no air coming from anywhere, so I'd have to put a fan right there.
Gotcha.
So anyway,
Um,
yeah.
so a friend of ours called me this morning, which is not normal. I usually call them. My phone's ringing and I was asleep because I went to bed late. I slept great for the first
Well,
night
that's
since I've
good.
been sick, so it was good, but
Mhm.
I was up late. I was just nothing catastrophic. It was just one of those, like, I was playing a game and I was snuggling a pup and then went, "Oh my god," like, looked at the time. So I think I went to bed around, like, 2 and, was awoken with the phone ringing at, like, 10:30, which I was like, "Oh, it's 10:30. Okay, I should get up." But it was one of those like, "Oh, I'll call them back in a second when I, realize that I'm human." And, go to the bathroom, call them back. And it's a scenario of like, so I'm at an antique show and like I see some cool things and I'm being a personal shopper, which I often am also for this person. And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Cause I kind of have an agreement with this person where like if they're out and they're shopping and, like, something is, like, a really great price that they know
Mhm.
is, like, just buy
Yes.
it. Like,
She must call you or buy it.
just what I was saying, yeah, she doesn't even need to call me. She can just has my permission to just buy it. Um, so she sends me a bunch of photos, and the reason I can't get into, like, super duper detail about it is because she was like, "Weren't you looking for one of these for Stephanie?" So, she sends me some photos, and I'm like, "Oh." And then some other stuff, and she's with her husband, and she shows me some pictures of quilts, and I'm like, "Oh, those don't look half bad." I'm like, What do they look like?" Sadly, she said the guy she was dealing with was a jerk, and I'm like, "Ugh,
Oh,
isn't that always the way where, like, the jerky ones are the ones that are gonna have, like, really good prices?" So, yeah, hubby, like, is holding up, quilts and stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god, tell him he's a really good model." So I ended up walking away she walked away with 3 items for me.
well, that sounds like um a great quarry, and you didn't have to go out hunting.
Well, you know what's funny is she walked away with one thing for herself. I guess her husband had the fruitful day, and he
Oh yes,
normally
because he
doesn't find much of anything.
he
So,
collects some interesting stuff.
so it's funny because 'cause I'm like, "Wow, you left that show with more stuff for me than for yourself." But you know what's nice is I also find because there have been times I've left shows and shops and things where I've picked up a bunch of stuff for her and nothing for myself. And because you still did the transaction in person, even though it's gonna go to someone else and whatever, you still get that dopamine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's like I guess it's like that caveman energy, that lower brainstem stuff where you have that sense of like I've chased something and I've captured it. Or the hunter
Yeah.
gatherer, I guess. The I got it. And it gives us
Yes.
that like, oh, this is good. Even though your mind knows, well, I'm giving it to my friend or my friend is paying me for it.
Yeah, I wonder how many times I've subconsciously gone out shopping hoping that she'll buy something and not necessarily myself. Although, did
Yeah.
I tell you the awful news? So, the Sturbridge antique shops that I love,
Mhm.
that I show photos of all the time, that has a couple of sewing dealers in there, they're gone.
It closed down?
Yeah, they've left.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm hoping that one dealer that always has, um, like a whole case full of nice sewing stuff. I'm hoping I'm gonna run into her at Brimfield because she often vends there, so I can ask her, like, what was the deal? I don't maybe she just couldn't justify the rent anymore, like, I don't
Mm.
know.
Mhm.
I will say the whole place had a little different vibe,
Hmm.
so I'm not sure what. What's
Maybe
going
is
on?
it could be under different management now or something?
I
Like,
almost got that feeling, and I asked a woman that works there, that's worked there quite some time, if they've had a recent, like, big turnover of dealers, and she's like, "No," and she was, like, offended, and I was like, "Huh, something definitely feels different." Um, so I did end up getting, a doll quilt there, um, and I think I got a couple other small things. The thing that stinks about it, like, it's still a very nice shop and stuff, but the thing that stinks is, like, I would always go there if I needed, like, a sure thing, like,
mhm.
I was really likely to find something either for my collection or for the shop, and I don't really get that feeling anymore.
That's a bummer. There's a couple of different places. Like I used to kind of do like my little thrift shop circuit, where I'd hit Goodwill and then like the independent thrift shops. And, they've closed down. And then there was one that was really great. He was a young guy that I guess, like, I don't know, he wasn't doing well in college or something. And so he asked his parents if he could take his college money and drop out of school and open a business. And they were like, all right. And this is like 2007, 2008 maybe. And so he started going to estate sales and like he would do clean outs and he rented this little place and it was so great. He had like furniture on one side and then like tchotchkes and all kinds of stuff on the other side. And then I guess it boggles my mind because I feel like furniture is one of the lesser, I feel like when they do estate sales, at least the auctions that I'm seeing, I feel like the furniture doesn't like at least at auction does not go for that much unless it's like something that's very very
Yeah,
old and like
everyday furniture doesn't do well.
yeah, but like your grandparents' furniture mid-century, at least at that time, was not So I don't know if he's switched over to more furniture though. The last few years, and it's been quite a while since I've been there. It's been since the pandemic ended, but I think I just dropped in there. And it was just all furniture, and I was like, "Where's the fun stuff? The jars of buttons and the bags of broken jewelry and Grandpa's weird
Mhm.
collection of like." So yeah, stuff changes, people's interests change.
I know. I can still be upset about it though, right?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
So, I am gonna do some stitching today.
Ah,
Yep, on my, boop. So,
oh, do you have the thing I gave you for your birth miss?
not right next to me, no. Wait, hold on, where
Threw it
is it?
away in Delaware. I knew it.
No, I'm just trying to think where is it right now? If it's handy.
Well, spoiler alert, guys. I got her a Violet Craft English paper piecing picture. So it's got all the pieces all cut out, and all you have to do is match them to the. It's almost like paint by numbers, but then you're stitching by
Yeah, I
numbers.
think that might be up in my sewing room
Well,
when the cleaning ladies were last here. I'm gonna have to grab it though. Um, along with along with something else you got me in my Merry Birthmas gift. Sorry, were you done with your thing?
mhm.
Okay. Uh, the reason that I'm thinking about it is because so in August, y'all, I'm gonna be on like a whirlwind road trip for like 3+ weeks.
It's gonna be like a
Um,
Carmen San Diego situation. Where in the world
Yeah,
is Jill Alexander?
there's a part of me in my brain that's like dreading it because I'm just like, God, it's so long to
Yeah,
be
you have to
away
pack
like
a
from my
lot.
bed. Yeah, to be away from my bed. However, I'm like going to really cool things. So it's the actual like travel part that's just like, but I'm going to totally cool things. So first, Stephanie and I will be in Ohio for an event. Um, and the reason this is a 3-week road trip is because I'm driving and Ohio's about 10 hours for me, and it's in, like it's the week of, like, whatever, like, the 12th is.
It's
So
like right in the middle.
yeah, so, like, a week and a half after that, we go to Lincoln, Nebraska for AQSG seminar, and I was like, "I'm almost, like, halfway in Ohio. Like, why do I wanna drive all the way home and then drive all the way back out, you know, to go to Lincoln when, Lincoln for me, because I can't do 700 hours in the car at once anymore. It's like 3 nights to get there. I don't wanna go all the way back and all the way back. So I was like, "Why don't I just go other places?" Um, so I haven't decided on what the whole itinerary in between will be. But one thing I was thinking of when I was chatting with one of our friends that will be with us on part of this trip, um, I was like, I need to prep a lot of handwork stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically I could bring my machine since I'm driving, but I'm also just like, it's not that in my head that I'm planning on doing like this massive haul of shopping, but I
Yeah.
could find some
So,
mother load and, like, I can't turn it down, so I'm thinking, like, in terms of priorities, my machine's probably really not a priority, but I could bring a lot of handwork.
handwork packs down tiny.
Yeah, so if everyone remembers, I had mentioned that when I thought I was gonna be stuck in North Carolina at QuiltCon with that blizzard, I did panic buy a EPP kit from Paper Pieces because they were across
Yeah.
the aisle from us. It was like a table runner type scenario, but I bought it because it had all the templates and
Mhm.
stuff in it and fabric. Not not my first choice fabric, but it was really just one of those, if I'm gonna be stuck in North Carolina for like a week, which at the time that's what we thought, it only ended up being a day. I was like, I don't care what the colors are. So I could prep that, which I'm probably gonna prep more than one thing. I could prep more baby, you know, because you just there's no reason to ever stop making these.
No.
Um, it's just that I'm gonna have to start. I do have one more of these that I found that my mom had already, but these containers came from Joann's. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone else is selling them.
Do you have more than one of them full now?
No, this is only one
Okay.
full.
And then you have the other
And
one that you found in your mom's stuff.
yes, and this actually isn't even full. These aren't tight in here.
Mm.
I could probably fit a little more, which keeping them tight too would make them nice and crisp, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, so I have these in here, and they're not all necessarily in mind for the project that I've been working on with them. They're just whatever. So, um, I'm thinking I can prep more of these, and here's how I prep them. I have this little container here, and I just pick a small
Mhm.
square and just like you had told me about, just a little glot glot dot of
Just a
glue.
little boop.
Yep, to stick it on there. And then I just take the whole, like, these are 1.5 inch squares.
Did you cut those yourself?
Yes, this comes from a bin of 1.5 inch
Mhm.
squares, my scrap user system. And a little dot of glue, and they just all sit nicely
Oh,
inside
okay.
here. And then I'll just quickly trim them up before I stitch, baste them.
Yeah,
And
that's just like that assembly line style. That's how I tend to get if I get things done quickly, it's because I've done it like that. I've done like prep stitch,
yep. Well,
it
I
goes
mean,
faster.
this is the only way to do it for travel. Like, I'm not gonna bring my whole freaking scrap bag and make the decisions there,
Right,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
so because I have a ton of these little things that I got these little, they're made for like salad dressings or
Oh
little
yeah, yeah.
snacks. They come in like a package of like 8. I think I got them from
Okay.
like the dollar store.
Mhm.
Um, And the nice thing too is that when you if you're on a in like a moving vehicle, like a train or something, the top of it has like a little lip.
Mhm.
So when I'm like making my little things, I can like seat them in here and they won't go anywhere.
Right.
Aside from the fact that I use the tin lid for my travel tin. But
Mhm.
anyways, so I can prep a number like this container will hold, a good, I don't know, 40, 50 of these prepped. So I can make a few of these. Um, our friend has also double dog dared me. Well, she double dared me. Stephanie double dog dared me.
So
Um,
somebody's got a triple dog dare.
to make um a bunch of these diamond pieces to create like a little pocket thing that she'll turn into a pincushion for me. So I can prep. Did you give me some papers for that?
I gave you some iron-on ones that I had that I thought you might be interested in trying.
Robin,
I knew I could count on Robin.
whose side are you on? Um, so I thought I'm gonna have to look in my stash because I don't when she released her pattern that this would be based off of.
You're talking about the diamonds, I think, the part of
Yeah,
diamonds.
you bought the pattern. I don't think I did though.
Mhm.
So I'd
I
have to
bought
get
it I
that.
think I bought it the day she released it, so
You bought it. You bought it like hiding in her bathroom before she like hit
I
release
was like,
like
"Is it out yet?
online.
Is it out yet?"
Yeah, like, and I think I had been like, "Oh yeah, I saw this thing." And you're like, "Oh my god." Um,
Yeah. I really English paper piecing, although I've only made small things. I've never made like a nice big um I don't know. I mean, I don't know that will ever make like a traditional grandmother's flower garden. Just I mean, I have some. My mom has some, vintage ones. But I just English paper piecing is just it's so relaxing and it's almost putting together a puzzle,
mm,
especially the like when you're doing ones that are like you have a color plan,
mhm.
or you're doing a picture or whatever. So yeah. I don't have any English paper piecing stuff. Like I don't have a project going right now, so I need to have a project. Actually, I lied. I do have a project.
I was gonna
Um,
say, what are you talking about?
I have the owl, the English paper pieced owl that I've been making. I've been working on that for a while. It's not a difficult one. It's just it's
No, there's something else.
mm,
There was something else that you bought or we were talking about. Well, you want to do the paper piece Dear Jane.
yeah, that's one where I need to win the lottery first because that's a little pricey and just the time
How
necessary.
much is that kit? Isn't it a couple hundred?
I want to say
Is the
it's about 400.
is the kit just the kit with papers or does it come with fabric?
I think it's just the papers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um yeah, that kit was cool. If you're wondering what we're talking about, Paper Pieces had a Dear Jane paper pieced kit. They
Yeah.
had a sample quilt there that was incredible.
Yeah.
Um so no, I thought for sure you like showed me something else
Oh, you know
that
what? I did start working on when we were in North Carolina, when we were in Raleigh for QuiltCon. I did start working on the lovers links, and I haven't gotten very far with that because I'm not sure if that's. I think I need to fix the papers because there's something I had to draft myself. So
um
maybe that's what you're thinking of, but I haven't really gotten very far with it at all because
well, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I think I'd have to see it. Um,
I mean,
because
I do just have some random that like I have some triangles that sometimes I'll just put together because I was going to do a doll quilt. So yeah, I guess I am totally lying. I do have a couple projects.
well, I was gonna say the reason it came up is because we were talking about um I believe someone in our QuiltCon group there that doesn't sew had asked the question, how many projects do you have at once? Like to the group. And I was like, 20. But those are also machine projects, which I'm not gonna lie, y'all. When you start to like work with quilts and it becomes somewhat of a job scenario, you do tend to not sew as much, which I'm going to make a concerted effort to fix that. I am going on a retreat in June, the same one I went on last year. We were in the mountains. Um, I'm very excited about that. And also my machine currently is just not where I am. And I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
I like, and it's just because I don't have like a desk space currently set up to have my machine live at. I'm going to work on changing that. It's very easy to change that, even if it's not permanent furniture, it's
Mhm.
easy to change that. So we're going to change that. And um when thinking about that, because I was thinking about it the other day, I was like, but I need to prep stuff for this road trip. And I potentially need a lot of stuff because I do anticipate that there will be some nights where I'm just alone in a hotel room. Um, I also sometimes like to take stuff with me to make a lot of prep. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, like example, I was on a trip once with a friend, and I loathe the cutting stage of a quilt. I don't like it. I just don't. People that plow through and just cut everything, I can't do it. I have to like cut a bit, sew a bit, like I
Mhm.
have to keep going. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Especially for me when I like really scrappy stuff and I want to keep putting variety in. But
Mhm.
anyways, there was this one quilt where it's not scrappy in that sense. It's very controlled. So the cutting is very methodological. So I had brought and the cutting is also annoying because you're constantly cutting on the diagonal. Um,
I gotta say, I
and
don't like cutting because I'm never accurate or the it moves. My rotary cutter's never,
sharp
even with a
enough.
fresh blade, it's never sharp enough. And
Um, yeah, this particular cutting, like you have to be like really precise about it because like you have to keep changing the angle at which you're cutting, or
mhm.
the block. It's from the book like Not Your Grandmother's Log Cabin or something, and it's like non-traditional log cabin quilts. So even the piecing, you're piecing on like the diagonal all the time. So it's that thing where like you have to like level it, put it down a little bit, not line
Right.
it up correct so it
Yeah.
opens
So
up.
that it's yes. Yeah.
Uh it's so I'm not gonna lie, like that quilt's still in progress because I have to rip out seams so often because it will be off just enough to like off just a teeny bit. Fine. I'm
By
not.
the time you get to like an end of a row or something, you're like,
But the quilt will be so cool when it's done. Like like it's one of those like I'm just keep chugging along, but I can only work on it for like 15 minutes a year because of that.
it's so
So
frustrating.
oh, yeah. So there was a time that I went on a trip and I did nothing but iron and cut pieces for that quilt because it required so much brain. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It's it always I don't know, it boggles my mind in that we have these very good instructions and we have rotary cutters and self-healing mats and rulers and all this stuff. And it is still just as frustrating for us, maybe even more frustrating than what some, our ancestors making quilts were.
mhm.
Um, yeah, LJ preferred mark with a pencil outline and cutting, but never do it. I actually do that sometimes for small things. It's even though I know it takes longer than it would if I just got the machine out, I sometimes will just because it's the accuracy that you can get with hand piecing, hand cutting and hand piecing. Because it is
I
so
would
easy,
definitely do
like
that for fussy
what
cutting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definite scenarios for, but luckily, like I think for one reason why now I'm so obsessed with this, like one of these half inch,
Yeah, I
right?
can't. I think so. I
Um,
think that's the
yeah, I think they're half inch. I'm so obsessed with these now is because I can just, aside from like my chunk scrap bin, um, I can just take my 1.5 inch squares and they fit perfectly with a little trimming into becoming these.
Aw, Tallulah. You know, I think about Tallulah sometimes too. Isn't that crazy? Like, I feel like, you know, that was such an interesting that was such an interesting book, and I feel like it kind of affected all of us.
It was such a roller coaster of emotions book.
Yeah, it really was. And yeah, I do. I think about Tallulah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you do. I mean, I also sometimes feel that way about Mary Schaefer because that book was so involved in kind of her
Yeah.
life and
Her
her
life.
collection and her quilt making. Well, not to mention too, like right after that happened, there happened to be an auction of Mary
Right.
Schaefer
Yeah.
quilts, and you got
Yeah.
one.
I got one little Mary Schaefer quilt. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, I have to show something off because I sometimes I'm not very observant. Sometimes I'm moving very quickly and I miss things.
oh no.
But so you haven't been watching my stream, but I have been oh, on the floor next to her couch stitching away. You know, yeah, Mary Schaefer. I think the thing that touched me most about the Mary Schaefer book was really the Gwen Marsden piece of it. That, you know, Gwen Marsden kind of writing about her as um her mentor, her inspiration. Yeah.
And I hope one day we'll write a book about our mentors and our inspiration.
Yeah, you know, I think about that sometimes. I think, you know, and even the generation before us that, you know, in terms of quilt study, women that are no longer here, like Joyce Gross and Questa Benberry, you know, women like that, and their names are invoked a lot in quilt study. Um, and I'm, you know, nobody's written a book about Questa. Nobody's written a book about Joyce. I think as like as the group of them, you know, and some of those women are still alive. I mean, they were kind of like I guess half a generation later. Some of the women that we are still, you know, hanging out with and talking to as part of AQSG.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, so I didn't set out to look at Baltimore album quilts because, I mean, you know, there's some really 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 talented and smart Baltimore album quilt scholars. Like, what am I going to bring to the table, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's a couple of Baltimore album quilts I really love, and I was getting back into some Dunton, and I looked at I found this particular, and a lot of people are here. They know what I'm talking about because they've seen it. There's this eagle. Let me
Ah,
find.
yes, you had already mentioned this to
It's a
me.
particular eagle. It's this blue guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can see him.
Yeah.
So I started looking because I noticed that there's a bunch of quilts that have the eagle. Exact same eagle. I found 8 just looking through my books. And so, you know, as I'm looking through this stuff and reading and sort of refreshing my memory, because I have read this book. I have read this book.
Wait, what is it?
It's Lavish Legacies.
Who's that
This is
by?
the book. This is the one by Jennifer Goldsboro.
Okay.
This is the one that I always complain because I tried to find this book for a long time. I knew it was an important, you know, it's got information in it. And I looked for it and looked for it and looked for it. The only thing I could find online was, you know, very expensive copies of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think like signed copies and stuff. So finally, when I went to, I think it was maybe the second time I went to Wild and Untamed, the Dunton exhibit, I finally was just like, all right, I'm gonna go buy it. You
Okay.
know, directly from. Since I paid, and I keep saying I paid full price. I got a discount because I'm a member of the Maryland Center for History and Culture, but I mean, still, since I bought it, do you know how many times this book has been offered to me for free or for like five
That's always the
dollars?
way. That's always the way.
Anyway, but I had read this book. However, I had forgotten a lot of it because I think when I read it, I didn't necessarily have the frame of reference yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's the thing, like in scholarship, I guess there's this, I want to have this tendency of just like, all right, I read the book, I'm done. I can move on. But I think because of the way that all of these things, they start to relate to each other, you kind of have to go back and revisit. And so some stuff made more sense to me. So anyway, last night, I was not trying to do any quilt study. I was merely trying to clear my desk off because I had done all of these things. So like I had been working on some of my little miniature projects, and I have been, streaming, writing, reading.
Mhm.
I had to pull my machine out to fix something on my husband's bathrobe. Like it was like chaos over here. So I'm just cleaning up, and I had this stack of books, and I'm like, I need to put these books away. So I had this book out, a Maryland album, and I had gotten this a while back, and I think I might have 2 copies of it. But I was flipping through it, just like, oh, I haven't looked at this in a while, and just in with that in mind, that I haven't looked at some of these books in a while, and what stands out to me. So I'm flipping through, and I'm like, here's a really cool album quilt, and I don't know what, I happened to just stay on the page a little bit longer with this one quilt, and I'm like, maker unknown, probably Baltimore. Well, obviously it's Baltimore, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that this quilt had to have been made by one of my favorite quilt makers of the Baltimore album quilt, the little 5-year.
Mhm.
Um, and so this is the quilt.
Mhm.
And I realize that this is not, it's hard to see. I should have taken pictures, but there's a couple things going on in this quilt. There's a horse. There are 2 fish with a wreath of strawberries around them. And the one fish is really weird looking. It reminds me of like a catfish. And I think that's what it is. It's right here. It's
Mhm.
these 2 yellow
Yeah.
fish. And then this is a wreath of strawberries. And then there's this horse. And then they actually have a close up of one block. And it's this block with these 2 stags
Mhm.
and an urn. So I'm going, these are things I just looked at the other day in another quilt that happens to be at the Maryland Center for History and Culture. And so I'm reading, and a name catches my eye. One of the footnotes is Julie Silber, the Writer Quilt, a family story in cloth. And while Writer it's Reiter, is a name that I've seen coming out of Baltimore City with quilts. And they were quilt owners, not quilt makers necessarily. They might have made quilts, but they were the famousness is because of quilts they owned, or a quilt that they
Mhm.
owned.
Mhm.
And the reason it sticks out to me is because I live in Reisterstown. So Reistter. So instead of writer, the people that the person that owned, like in the 1700s, established a farm here where I live, his name was Reister. So that always stuck with me as like the very first time I read it, I was like, oh my God, are they really talking about the Reisters? And like there's a typo, but there's
Hmm.
not. It's writer is a completely separate group of people. So anyway, so I'm reading, and I'm like, she says, whoops, sorry about that, you guys. Let's see, where does she say? She talks about Dunton. Um, she mentions, let's see, so this particular quilt is stylistically similar. Um, Similar to a Goodman quilt, pictured in an article by textile curator Julie Silber in the 1983 inaugural volume of the Quilt Digest. Silber attributes this quilt decorated with whimsical figures similar to those on the Goodman quilt. So the writer quilt, this is something that Julie wrote about in 1983, Quilt Digest. So I flipped to that, and I'm like, let me find that one. So here's that quilt.
Mhm.
Now, I'd say with the untrained eye, I would think most people would go like, oh yeah, okay, I see it. There's a guy with a horse, and there's another horse, and it looks like an elephant and an eagle, but they're not the same. they're stylistically similar in that the um the scholars, Goldsboro and Katzenberg, have used this terminology of designer one, designer two, designer three, because they don't know who necessarily who contribute either made or contributed to some of these quilts. But there are some that they do know. And the one in particular, you guys are going to know it as soon as you see it because I've showed it off a bazillion times, is the Rachel Waters quilt. I'm sorry, the Rachel Meyer quilt.
Uh-huh.
So, ring of strawberries, weird ass catfish, the deer. I'm sorry, the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And then the deer, there's two sets of deer. There's these deer, and then there's deer over here where there's so much fabric loss it's hard to see them. They are identical. The deer are identical. So I'm like, Rachel Meyer made that quilt, not the whoever made the writer quilt. So now I'm like, I know that we have some colleagues who have more recently done some extensive Baltimore album quilt. Oh, LJ, there's the eagle is not in there. The blue eagle is not part of these quilts. So that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at looking for the blue eagle on everything, but these particular quilts, there is no blue eagle because they just happen to be. And the reason why I love the Rachel Meyer quilt, this one, is because of the squirrel. That's what stuck out first for me because I love squirrels. I have a whole collection of squirrel things. And I've just always loved squirrels, and I just think they're funny and they're cute. And the other animals on this quilt like really enticed me. So I've had my eyeballs on this quilt for quite some time. And and I just, I feel like now I have to look at these things.
Uh-oh. Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Yeah, so now did I lose the page? I think I lost the page where it was. Crap. There it is. Yeah, and they're in a Maryland album, they're calling it exotic album quilt. So
Exotic.
yeah. So now I'm like, I am on this chase to find all of the blue eagles. But the thing is, here's ultimately what I'm thinking, you guys. And is this gonna hold water? Is this gonna fly? I don't know. But what I started thinking in my mind is, what if I start charting all of these quilts out? I chart them out, and like, I mean, I visually can identify like what is the same. So like the Rachel Meyer quilt and this other unknown quilt that's in a Maryland album. I mean, I would bet my last nickel that they were made by the same person, or Rachel Meyer was involved in that quilt that's not attributed to anybody. So anyway, just looking at all of these quilts, there's only but so many of them. Yeah, and charting it out. See, and that's the thing, LJ, in like what I showed day before yesterday on my stream, I literally started taking pictures right out of the books with my phone, and I have these dry erase sticky notes that I was sticking in there, like, and for the eagles, I've that system is BE 1 through 8, Blue Eagle 1 through 8. So, but I mean, again, like I'm looking, and I know somebody's done this. I know that this work has been done, but it's not published work. So I feel like I need to do it for myself. And ultimately what I'd like to get to is handing this info off to AI and getting AI to do some more grouping and analysis. But it's not going to be as easy as, just handing a folder off to ChatGPT. That's not what I'm going to do. So, I have to, this could be a long-term thing. I might get bored of it because, I got to be honest, I love, love, love Baltimore album quilts, but after you look at like a dozen of them, they all start to look the same. And, right? I mean, I know it's funny, LJ, BE 1 through 8, but I had to do that because I'm sitting, even trying to show on my stream, I'm going like, okay, so now, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is the one we just talked about. This is the second one in the other book. And I literally need to like make myself like flashcards with this stuff and with the whole list of every book it's in. And
there's a reason, like, when you see, like, on TV, those crime solving shows, they have
The
this
murder
big
board.
bulletin board, yeah, with, like, the
Yes.
yarn, like,
Yes.
tying things together.
They don't actually use yarn, but
But you know what I mean? Like, that's what, like, we would probably use.
yeah. I mean, in a real, yeah, I mean, in a real, like, crime solving, investigative situation, have to spread stuff out and look at it, and they do use big dry erase boards. I know some jurisdictions that have newer equipment have like those smart rooms where they have, they can pull up computer stuff too. But yeah, and LJ, I mean, thank you for saying that. Yeah, because I think that that's the thing about learning, like scholarship. Um, it's funny when our dear friend Mary Fons began pursuing her PhD. I said, well, I always say never. However, it is very unlikely that I would ever pursue anything further than like maybe another master's degree, but maybe not even that. I've kind of gone back and forth.
Yeah, when you're in whimsical places where you could obtain said
Well, when
master's
you're in
degree, you're
whimsical
like, "Hmm."
places where it's a master's degree that's really freaking awesome and it's completely paid for by a massive endowment, then yes, I will absolutely get that degree if they were to accept me. But yeah, I don't see myself going like, oh, I'm ready to pursue another master's and finding the college to do that or the university to do that. And I don't picture myself doing that. But what I thought to myself when Mary, began pursuing, I was like, I'm going to pursue my own education. And I did start doing that. I started reading a lot, and of course, all the books that we were reading, I was kind of looking up. But yes, I think that jumping into something and creating a project for myself that I'm not necessarily like super enthused about. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds bad. Like that sounds like why would you have free time. You're directing your own time, but why would you do something that you're not enthused about? Because I think that's where you might learn the most is forcing yourself to just be methodical about it.
Mhm.
Um and I think that in the long run it's better. It's just all around, I think, better education for yourself when you're using self-directed, you know. What is that? Auto autodidactic or whatever they call that. Um, oh, here's an eagle in this quilt that is a different color, but it is the blue eagle.
Oh, the yellow one? Man, it
Yeah,
looks so much better in blue.
yeah, it really does. It's so strange though that I mean, there are so many quilts that have that eagle in it, and stylistically, um, I understand now because when there were, when I was first reading Lavish Legacies, and then Dina Katzenberg's book. It's just called Baltimore Album Quilt, or Baltimore Album Quilts. I never actually read. I sort of skimmed it. I need to finish reading it. Um, but I just couldn't quite wrap my head around like what are they talking about, like these stylistic things, and I would get confused. But now I'm like, I get it. I understand what they meant now that I've looked at a bazillion Baltimore Album Quilts and other types of album quilts. So, but yeah, LJ, I mean, that's such a good point about becoming more familiar with your books. I mean, we spend a lot of money on these books, or in
That's
my
the whole
case,
reason we decided to start reading them
yeah,
together.
or we have a lot of them. And yeah, I mean, I think like I get these books to educate myself, and if I don't do anything with them, and I guess that's really more of the assignment is make the most of the books, right?
Yeah, like these bigger ones,
Yeah, well, so yeah, so
I
LJ just said the number of eagles. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like it does, it opens your mind. You opens your eyes to other stuff. You're looking for that thing specifically, and then you see all the stuff around it. So yeah,
Oh,
go ahead. Sorry.
you're welcome, LJ. Thank you guys for reading them with us.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, we'd just be two weirdos over here, like being like, "What'd you think of
yeah.
this book?"
If I didn't have the peer, like, and I say peer pressure, I don't mean it in a bad way, but just that we have this commitment to being here. I would never get these books read. It would be like
No,
if it was.
it's a bunch of accountability
It
partners.
is. It is accountability and just really kind of the friendship, the
Camaraderie.
communion ship. Yeah, the camaraderie.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
LJ Legacy, man. That book definitely goes into my top 5 so far.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of books, it was a happy mail day today and I haven't even opened anything yet. So I thought,
A happy mail day? You had another book coming in?
well, so it's Quilt Folk Day.
Oh,
But I do have 2 books I've ordered recently and now I don't remember what they are. They're books I specifically ordered because I was interested in something. Then one's thrift books and one is half price books. So we'll open those. I don't remember ordering anything that I'm embarrassed about, so
maybe that's a reason to not open it live on camera.
let's see what is this even? Oh, this is Texas Greater Houston. So I guess they're doing Texas in multiple.
Oh, yeah, they must. Texas is massive.
Yeah, I would just, have they done California? I don't think they've done California, have they?
They must have done at least a part of it.
Oh, look.
They've done a part
International
of
Quilt
Massachusetts.
Festival.
I mean, that has to be in there if they're doing Texas.
Yeah. Oh, look, Bob Ruggiero.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm always excited when Quilt Folk shows up.
Agreed.
Oh my gosh, look at her dress. Isn't that cute?
Wow. That is very cute.
Oh, and Sarah Ruiz. Sarah Ruiz, the
The
astronaut?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Isn't she? She's an astronaut, right? Yeah.
So I just made a date with a sewing friend of mine that I haven't seen in quite some time. She just texted me last night and was like, "How are you? I haven't seen you in forever." And it's funny. She always ends up like texting me when I'm sick. She must have like mom radar or something. But she's like, "Yeah, like when am I gonna see you and everything?" And she's newly retired, so she always has girlfriends. It's just a revolving door of quilting girlfriends coming in and out of her house. And yeah, I was like, well, how about next Thursday? Because I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I could definitely use that as some time to start prepping for my big, grand road trip. What is that face that you're making?
Okay. Well, this book I certainly got because of a project that I'm involved in. But this is from a public library, and whoever last had it either spilled something on it or threw up on it. Because it's got some ick on it. But
Well, the plastic cover is still there. You could take that off.
yeah, so this is Cleve Jones' book, Stitching a Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where so Cleve Jones is the AIDS quilt guy, and we are working on a project that's similar as far
When
as
you say we, who do you mean?
It's a group of us.
I was gonna say when you say we, you might want to just like
Yeah,
differentiate.
sorry.
You're not talking
It's
about me.
not. Yeah, this is not something Jill's involved in. It's not public yet. We haven't announced it yet. It's just a group of women that I know. A few of them are American Quilt Study Group members. A few are contemporary quilters who are involved in, like social justice and community projects and stuff. So Marianne just scored a bunch of older books and magazines from a stream in Florida. Ah, I always
Now, if
love to.
anyone's interested, remember that I work at the New England Quilt Museum library, and we always have a running yard sale of books and magazines. Some of them are international. I'm happy to facilitate a purchase and ship it out to you, which normally the museum doesn't do, but I can. If that is of interest, I can always take some photo or video of what's in there. It's always changing. There's all kinds of books.
All right. So I got Cleve Jones' book.
Ooh. That's exciting. Mary, your website, are you asking? I'm assuming you're asking me. The website's neqm.org, but you won't find the yard sale stuff on there. They don't put any of that online.
So this is one you might like if you don't already have it. Our mutual friend recommended it, and it's very inexpensive. Sophie DuPont, A Young Lady in America.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So this would be our little Winterthur gal. So these are sketches, diaries, and letters, 1823 to 1833. And the person that recommended it to me had said, it's really charming. And I don't know how old she is.
Marianne just said one of the magazines she got had an interview with Sunbonnet Sue.
Oh my gosh, an interview with Sunbonnet Sue? You'll have to tell me more about that, Marianne. I'm curious to know what magazine it was. But anyway, I don't know how old she is in here. But anyway, it's kind of day-to-day stuff. So yeah, I think she's a teenager during these years. Yes, okay. A window into the America of the early Republic is opened for us by young Sophie DuPont. Her father, E.I. DuPont, so that's oh gosh, I can't remember the Eutheria. I don't know.
Are you having a stroke?
I'm trying to remember. It's his French name, and then his middle name is Irene. He had come from France, and in 1802 settled on the banks of the Brandywine Creek, 4 miles above Wilmington, where he set up a gunpowder manufactory. A period of 10 years in the family life of the DuPonts, newly settled in Delaware, is illuminated by Sophie's letters, diaries, and sketches from 1823, when she was 13, to 1833, when she was 23, which have been discovered in the DuPont family and company archives and organized into this charming book. So, yeah, so it's like pictures of the pages and the little drawings, and then where they've transcribed like the diary entries. So, and her little pictures are really cute. Like, they're so crazy. What does this say? A scene in peach season. Can you tell what's happening? It's peach season.
And someone's jumping out the window?
No, she's not jumping out the window. Look at the other two ladies. Can you tell? It might be too hard to tell. It looks like they've got something in their hands and they're like biting, and it's like all of this liquid coming down. Oh. Ripe peaches. So I think that the girl leaning out the window is eating a peach out the window.
So it's because they're really juicy.
A scene in peach season. The pleasure of eating clingstones. Eleonora. Oh, I can't get far enough out of the window. What shall I do? Uh, it says Vic and Soph, so I'm assuming that's Victoria and Sophie. Um, both mute, their mouths being full of peaches. And there's another one which our friend sent me a picture of. I don't know where it is in the book, but it's where it's a particular style of skirt, these pleated skirts that were popular at the time. And she shows a picture of the danger of wearing the skirt is that it catches on the handle of the chamber pot and dumps the chamber pot over. And it's this picture of this woman walking and her skirt, like, kind of sort of blowing backwards, and the chamber pot tipped over. And like this just. But that's the kind of thing you're like, yeah, that would happen to me, right? That's exactly the kind of thing that is in here that I just love. So apparently it's like these kind of day in the life.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they're wealthy people, um, they do still seem to have these sort of like workaday sort of things that happen to them. And also some of these little scenes, I'm kind of like, huh, I wonder if that's at this place that we saw at the Winneter, because, there's stairs and rooms that might be kind of vaguely familiar to us. Discovery of the scissors. What is that about? Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. It's really cute. This came quickly. Where did I order
And
this from?
what particularly enticed you into that book?
Because our friend sent us the picture of her knocking over the chamber pot with her skirt. No, she said you would really like this. It's very charming, but it's got like sort of it's relatable because she's writing from this perspective of just like, oh, every day. She's not trying to impress anybody. She's just talking about like, here's what happened today. Or here's what's happening this week. And she would do these little watercolor drawings. Um, and it's just about like their everyday. It's not, like, again, she's not trying to impress anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So this is 1831 Descent to Violan Bower, August 31st, 1831. Jones screaming, "Oh, I'm down again. I can't get up. Help me, you creature." Sophie, "My dear, that comes of drinking so much wine at dinner. Here's my hand." And it's like they've fallen down this.
She's a much better drawer than I ever was at that age.
Yeah.
Or even this age.
And I mean, it's just so, and then like the next page is just about um Prudencio Santander came out to see us, and Vic asked him to stay till Monday, which he did. Um, and it's got this, I guess it's where her father is saying, "Oh, Prudinero, do help Miss Lamont. Do take my arm, miss. Oh no, you are too low. Then lean on my shoulder." Because apparently he's short. So yeah, like that. It just seems really, really kind of sweet. So yeah, I'm excited this came. I just ordered this the other day. It was from it's from was it Half Price? Did I say? Yeah, Half Price Books in Texas.
Hmm.
So I think I paid like $6 for it. Well,
So, as I'm sitting here working on my little hexies, I'm actually kind of feeling like I need to prep all three of those projects I mentioned to bring with me. I need some diamonds, which I'm terrified of because I'm just like, those things were teeny. Although at least I'm not making 300 stitches per inch. So I was just cleaning out my tin case here because I have to clean it out periodically because one thing I tend to do when I'm just out traveling around is I just throw my trash in it too. So I was cleaning it out and gathering up all my trash. And I found a piece. These are 1 inch hexies that I've been working on. There's just a few of them. And the reason I stopped is I got really frustrated because I accidentally sewed them together wrong. And I just like threw this in there, but I was sitting here like looking at my stitches.
There's no getting those apart. That's a straight up satin stitch.
Yeah, here it is on the other side.
Yeah, that's not
So
coming apart.
yeah, so I was like looking at them like maybe I should just take the papers out and just be done with that.
That's too funny. Um,
And then also now because I went and bought, you know,
Superior
some
threads.
I stepped up and bought some better threads. Now I can retire like these thread spools, actually 4 thread spools, I guess, out of my tin for now because I bought um the nicer threads when we were at QuiltCon and we got a vendor discount. You know, I got a
Yeah.
range. These should last me 700 years. Um,
You would think, but
well, I mean, keep in mind, I don't tend to do the EPP as often as you do. I love it for travel. Um, who knows? Maybe I run out of them on my trip or I use them. I mean, I won't run out on my trip, but you know, like maybe I really use them up on my trip, which is fine. That's what they're there for.
yeah.
But yeah, don't you think maybe I would have the table runner thing, the diamonds and this.
Hmm.
And then I'm also thinking maybe I'd prep a couple of like small applique blocks.
Applique, you say?
Someone else also mentioned to me like, you know, because I've said like I'd like to do a little more hand sewing because I like the portability. And you know, I love my machine sewing, but let's not lie, it's not comfortable sewing, you know. Um, it's not good posture sewing in by any means. Um, so I can definitely sit up straighter and things like that and everything like if I'm like on the couch and I can just be more comfortable. I also you can't sew on your sewing machine and put your feet up. So, um
Yeah, because you need your feet, darn it. Unless you use
yeah.
a knee thing, and still you need a leg free.
So, yeah, so I'm like I wouldn't mind doing some hand sewing, especially small stuff. So someone was like, you know, you have all these pre-cut pieces in your scrap user system, you know, why not just start hand sewing them together in like 4 patch stuff? So I'm like
Yeah, I
this
think that. Yeah, I think it's like I've kind of made a decision with my my Liberty. I got a Liberty pre-cut pack, and I just want to make something very simple with it. Um, LJ has gotten me believing and understanding in the power of Liberty, despite the fact that Tatalon is such a you know, sheer fine fabric. It's stronger than I know apparently. So I'm gonna give it a shot. And yeah, I think I'm gonna hand piece it. I'm just gonna do I think half square triangles. You know, nothing fancy.
well, so one of my biggest questions with the hand piecing is are you tying knots every time or no? Just like when you machine sew?
Do you mean someone hand piecing? Um, yeah, you need to do like I do like a little tack stitch. So you get to the end and then you just stitch again, like just kind of a little back stitch, and it sort of just locks it off and then cut it.
Do you start with a knot?
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's
Um,
everything you do.
Pretty much, yeah. I think I want to say I've seen people that will do that little back stitch and then start stitching, but I always just do a little knot. And I do quilter's knots, right? Do you know how to do you know how to do a quilter's knot? And yeah. So it's a nice
You
compact
you
tiny
taught
knot.
you taught me how to do it for you people.
Oh, okay, I can remember. I have taught it to some people that can't get it, that don't under, and I'm
I
like,
so I was taught the knot when I took a hand quilting class um at the main quilt show, which if you've never been is a lovely show. And my girlfriend Christine had talked me into taking a hand quilting class with her. Which was very interesting. I actually did pretty well with the rocking in terms of making sure that my stitches on top and on the bottom were the same length. I don't know how I did that. She's like, "Oh my God, look, you did really well." I'm like, "Okay."
I can't do that.
Um, but I was having a really hard time with the knot. She kept like showing us how to do the knot, how to do the knot, and I just couldn't get it. But for some reason, when you showed me, I got it right away, and I've never screwed up since.
Sometimes some teachers are very good.
I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I can't remember where I learned the knot. Oh, so Marianne so hid that magazine from herself, but picked up a volume of volume one of Sunbonnet Sue. Oh, I'm sorry, Sunbonnet Sisters and At Grandma's Knee, a collection of doll quilts. Oh, they were
Hmm.
wonderful. I don't actually
Oh,
Sunbonnet Sisters. Now that I think about that, I don't know if I know that.
do you guys want to see the doll quilt that I got at Sturbridge when I went
Yeah.
and found out the okay? Hold on. Let's move this table, which means I can pick up. I don't know if you saw at one point while you were talking and I was doing stuff, I made a crappy face because I dropped one of my X's on the ground. Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera off for a sec. I'm gonna grab it. I'm also gonna grab a drink.
Okay. You know, it is so odd. I have no, when I'm on my own stream, I have no problem with just talking nonstop to you guys. But when Jill leaves, I'm like, oh no, what am I going to say? I guess because I don't have a book that we're reading from or a project that, you know, or something that we're looking at in real time. So, um, but yeah, you guys, I cannot get over this. I keep going back to this quilt and this book, and I'm like, this is got to be by the same person, right? Um so Marianne says, I've never seen Sunbonnet Sisters either, but it's chock full of patterns. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if it's so there's the Sunbonnet family, like and it's a man and woman, husband and wife that put those together. They did the Kansas City Star books too. They were like spiral bound, like those spiral bound cookbook kind of, you know, um that sort of binding. Can't think of their names. But it's got to be the same era, um where people were really into all of those different sunbonnet patterns. I'm curious with Sunbonnet Sisters, are these like are they patterns that are maker created? Because I feel like the Sunbonnet family, what I'm pretty sure is like those are Sunbonnet Sue patterns that have been submitted. Um, and they're from all over the place. Like some of them were, I know 100% were published patterns that had been copied and, you know, maybe changed a little bit over time. So I'm curious to know because I have a couple of sunbonnet books that are very clearly like contemporary quilters, drafted, new. Um, yeah. Oh wow. Let's see. In this book, you will find a restored version of 10 Corbett comics from the early 1900s. Interesting. Yeah. Bertha Corbett. I actually, when I was cleaning up last night, I found my little Sunbonnet Babies primer that had been in my bookshelf. It had gotten pushed behind some stuff. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. I heard I was laughing at you as I was
I'm
walking
like,
up to
I don't know what to say when you walk away. I'm like, I have no problem running my
Um,
mouth nonstop on my. But carpet comics. That's really interesting that they called it. They're calling it comics. I mean, she was an illustrator. I mean, I guess they kind of were comic like. Um, Little illustrations. I mean, Kate Greenaway, kind of the same thing. Interesting.
ready?
Just when I think I've seen everything that's sunbonnet related. I find new things. There's very often something new. Oh my gosh, and it's got the little cutouts. Oh, so cute. That's adorable. Does it fit that cute bed you have? That cute bed you bought?
I don't know. I haven't tried yet.
Or do you have that bed? You don't have that bed in one of your cases, do you?
I have more than I don't know why, but like overnight, I went from no doll beds
Like
to
a
like
dozen doll beds.
yeah.
Well, you
Um,
have one, and now I'm trying to think which I want to say was it last year when we were in Pennsburg and we stayed at that cute house on that. I guess that's a
mhm.
creek. I don't know what body of
Oh,
water that is. And the geese and stuff. Yeah, you had a cute doll bed you'd bought before I got there, and it was a
oh,
little bit bigger.
the
That's
rope
the one I'm
one.
thinking of. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Looks like it's
Uh,
about the same size as that quilt.
and I think I bought that one when I was with our friend Anne shopping in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because you guys had done stuff before I got there. I couldn't come up
Mhm.
that night.
Mhm. Yes, I still have that. That is not in my case in Maine. Um, I was just thinking about something when I was mentioning being on the road in August um and doing stuff. I don't know in the top of my head here like where everybody's at. But I'm thinking like, I'm certainly happy to mention which states I think I might be in if
Anybody wants to meet up?
yeah, if anyone wants to have lunch or something, if I'm passing through and it's fun to meet our viewers.
Mhm. Yeah,
No,
so
no pressure.
yeah, so where we're going in Ohio, that's right outside of is it outside of Akron?
Yes, I believe.
Okay. I guess there's so many like major cities in Ohio and they're all well, they're not all clustered close together, but I feel like I can't keep them straight. And I've been to all of them.
Yeah, yeah, we're going around Akron.
Yeah. So copyright 1992 by House of White Birches. Okay. That's interesting. Let me do a little Google. I could see what this is.
But yeah, in my brain in the moment, I'm thinking I might end up in like Indiana for a minute and Minnesota. Um, of course, like the route that I take, like I go through Illinois a bit. And like having this tour. Obviously, I drive through upstate New York. Um, like where like Buffalo is and stuff like that. And I do touch like Erie, Pennsylvania. So I'm in Pennsylvania for 5 minutes up there. And I will say it is a nice drive doing that upstate New York. The only thing that stinks is I'll feel a little bit unwell for a while I do that drive because you do a lot of this like big over mountain type things where you don't feel it. It's not like you go whoosh, but the changes in altitude, I don't do well with that.
Okay. I'm sorry. Here's the magazine or a book. Um Sunbonnet Sisters Volume 1. Actually, look, it looks like it was probably it was like a magazine kind of thing. That oh my gosh, it has got
Are you gonna
oh
show us? You're
yeah,
just
I
gonna
just
talk about it.
okay. You'll have to I'm just gonna put it on the screen. I'm not gonna share.
It's okay. I have a
Um,
screen too.
yeah. Um, so this is what it looks like, and these do look like the more traditional patterns. But look at these little cartoons. These literally are little cartoons.
I'm really surprised Sunbonnet Sue was never like a show.
I mean, look at this one. She falls off the roof. Sunbonnet Sue falls off the roof. These are really cute. I was not expecting this out of this book. And it sounds like Marianne, you got a good deal because they're selling it for 28 bucks here on the interwebs
Hmm.
on eBay.
On eBizzle.
Now, I think I'm not positive. Now, the author of this, her name is, where did I see it?
So are those like they look like just like a bunch of comic strips?
Yeah, but there's also the patterns in here. Where did I see the author's name? I saw Beth. It's Beth something. Oh, it's edited by Beth Schwartz, so it's edited. But I think this White Birches, that might be that man and woman that were putting together the Sunbonnet family stuff. Let me see. Hmm. And of course, all of my Sunbonnet stuff is in the storage unit right now. Hmm. Yeah, it looks like House of White Birches was doing a lot of Sunbonnet Sue stuff, so
Hmm.
I see some other books. Actually, they have this cute calendar one. Sunbonnet Sue calendar quilt that's like a garden maze quilt. Hmm. Yeah, just when I think I'm like, yeah, evidently there's a volume 2. Yeah. I don't even know what that looks like. Let's see. The Sunbonnet family. There's like 10 of those. Um, see if I can find
Is
volume
there
2.
really a family though? I thought it was just like two people.
It's all of the versions of Sunbonnet Sue.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many of
Well, because
them.
or well, I know like there's we have Sunbonnet Sue, then we have like overall what's his face?
Overall, overall
Sam.
Sam,
And
Fisherman
then
Fred.
and then there's like Sunbonnet Babies, right?
The Sunbonnet Babies were the original thing, right? Hey, Janet. Oh no, the power was off.
So your
Oh,
power
what a
coming
bummer.
on and off all night would absolutely murder me because I have a loud fan.
Had it coming on and off, yeah.
Oh,
That'd make
the
me
minute
crazy.
it's funny, I could be in a dead sleep, and the minute that fan turns off, I am awake. So if that was going on and off and on, I'd just be like, screw it. That sounds
Yeah,
awful.
that stinks.
I was up till 4:30 in the morning the other night because of drama I had to moderate on Facebook. That was obnoxious.
Okay, yeah. All right. The House of White Birches stuff. Yeah, they did do some of the Sunbonnet family reunion books. Yeah, it looks like it's all like early 90s stuff. What a wild time, the early 90s. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which I don't have this Sunbonnet Sisters book, but I have a few of the Sunbonnet Family Reunion books. And I think there's more of them than I thought there were.
Have
Now
you
that
have you cataloged at all like all your weird Sues?
kind of like I have a photo catalog of it.
How many
I
do you
need
have now? I'm pretty sure that I've collected a number of for you.
yes. Yeah, you have been the source of some of my Sues.
The weird Sue conduit.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
it's a a physicist's anomaly. The Sue conduit. Sorry, I've been
well,
watching Big Bang Theory.
the Sue conduit. Um yeah, I'm trying to think. Let me look. I think it's all here on my
It's funny because I remember when they were almost all in the same room with each other,
Mhm.
and there's quite a lot. You have quite a lot of of a Sue collection.
Yeah, I mean, I've I've collected my own over time, and um, I have a number of Sues people have given me because people don't want sunbonnet Sues. They're like, I don't want to throw it away or give it to Goodwill, but I don't want it. But I don't want anything to happen to it. I'm like, well,
You can be the official Sue cemetery.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, here's my sunbonnet. So some of these are details shots. So, mm, yeah, I guess this folder doesn't have all of them in it. I don't think. Yeah, I when I lost, I didn't lose stuff, but um I had to rebuild my computer, and so there's a bunch of stuff that I haven't put back, like I downloaded like the entire hard drive, um, and I just haven't put back. It's all sitting on an external drive. So yeah. Oh, you know what? And there's pictures in here of stuff I don't own as well. So I guess this was not a good folder to try to count from. Oh yeah, there's a few that got away on here.
What does that mean?
Uh, Sunbonnet and I think there's also a overall Sam or a Fisherman Fred, one or the other, that I battled valiantly on eBay for and lost. um, I mean, do you want to see my Sues?
If you want to show them.
I can.
It seems relevant to the conversation.
Oh, Marianne said she'll find the interview. Well, you know where to find us. You know where to find me. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to share so that you can see them too.
Oh.
Then,
I'm pretty sure
oh,
that one came from me.
yeah, and you know what? I can't. This isn't going to work. I gotta. Okay, hopefully that is going to. Okay.
Is
And
this
you
just
should be
like
looking at.
out in your backyard?
Yep. Uh, this was on a day where I think it was probably my son had not mowed the grass because you can see it's a bit clumpy looking. Ah, I hate this thing. Move, go away. So yeah, this is a nice sweet little Sue. Yeah, this is one of the really nice ones. It's really well made. They're really cute. Yeah, and it's a very happy quilt because it's yellow.
They
And
also
then
look less depressed than other Sues do.
yeah, they're just very cute Sues. And it's got this like really brilliant blue binding. So you can see. And these are so some of these fabrics I think have got to be mid-century, but I don't know like how old this quilt is. I don't think it's too terribly old. But I love this fabric
Well,
too.
definitely not that yellow.
What do you mean?
I don't think that yellow is super old.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oops,
Well,
what's from
no,
this?
but what I'm saying is like I wonder if this could be a scenario where like the blocks are older than the assembly.
Oh, possibly, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just pictured as being kind of like my grandmother and her massive scrap bin of like, stuff from God knows when. My
Mhm.
grandmother had a lot of fabric from like the 40s because
Mhm.
and then again from like the late 50s, early 60s when she was sewing a lot of clothes. I guess I took a picture of every single block. Okay. uh, this is one of my nicer colonial ladies. I don't remember.
I don't know
I
where
don't
that
think I
came
got
from.
this. Did I get this from you? I don't think I
I
did.
don't think so.
Yeah. But yeah, she's
It could
got a.
always be it could always be possible, but
Yes,
it's
anything
not
is
one that
possible.
yeah, it's not one I'm feeling I recognize.
Yeah, she's got this like very obnoxious bonnet.
You
But
know,
she's
her
got a little.
bonnet reminds me of like a flower.
Mhm. Yeah, the colors on this one are really pretty. Yeah. And I like the layout, because they're pretty large blocks. Um, and it's a very simple layout. Um, didn't you showed me one recently? I think it's somebody that's selling some of their quilts.
Mhm.
It's these ladies, but they're holding balloons. And I think her hat looks different. Her hat is a little less weird looking. Sorry, I'm gonna hustle through. I like this one's dress.
Yeah.
This just so reminds me of like the kind of fabric scraps my grandmother would have.
Yeah. Well, it makes her dress look like needlework.
Hmm. Okay. This,
You got that from me.
yes. This is also a really unique one in that the way it's, they're set in here. Um, they had to have planned it out because, some of the women are on point and some of the Sues are on,
Mhm.
just straight.
They're also
Um,
like they're also like kind of like super duper h- correct posture Sues.
yeah. I look at this one as like grown up Sue who's, heading to her job in the city. I think I have some better close ups of these. I think this is a better one. It is a weird layout. Sunbonnets in a centrifuge. Yes. They're spinning around and pushing them out to the border. It's also got some pretty quilting. I mean, it's very simple. But there's a cable around this. And I think the other quilting is all like a diamond. Sorry, these take a second to resolve themselves because I haven't flipped through it. Also, her little shoes. The little shoes, her little feet.
Oh yeah,
Really cute.
this is definitely like working lady Sue.
Yeah, she's on her way out. Gotta gotta bring home that bacon.
Nice variety in her clothes.
Yeah, and
Wow. That
um,
is like we're following the leader, Sue.
yeah, but I think this one I really like because they're smaller. These are smaller
Mhm.
Sues, and um, it does provide this opportunity for using really scrappy stuff. But also, one thing that I'm really thinking about here is so every single print is got a solid to go with it.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering how much of this is truly scrap bag and how much of it is like purchased specifically for this project. Okay. This Mega Sue.
Yeah, like that I'm not gonna lie, like that Sue looks like a like a school marm and like leading off.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of thought of her as like Thunder Sue. Thunder Sue. She's the big girl. Or um like Godzilla Sue, and these are all the little people. This block here so reminds me of the quilt my grandmother made me. Because there's a block in there that's like some kind of crazy fabric that my mom said is not from something that she or my grandmother ever sewed. She thinks it's just from a bag of scraps my grandmother got from somebody.
I'm
So
not gonna lie, that fabric reminds me of those 90s like windbreaker sets that everyone wore. And
yeah,
ladies had one that was like pink and yellow and a brighter pink and green. And then like men had them that were like green and blue and gray. And my dad totally had some.
yeah, yes, I see that. But I also, when I look at this, I see well, so art me when I've got my art hat on, I'm like, oh, that's like Peter Max and Andy Warhol and all of this like psychedelic and neons and stuff. But actually, these kind of look like a pair of jams. Did did I don't were jams were probably not a thing anymore when you were
I recognize the name. I'm not sure off the top of my head
so
if I
they
remember.
were
They
like
also remind me of the color scheme of like caboodles.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Robin. Yeah, this is all totally 70s. Definitely 70s stuff. So jams were these like board shorts kind of. Like they
Okay.
they were kind of long baggy shorts, but you could get them as like literally like capri length, like pedal pusher
Mhm.
length, or you could get them as like long board shorts. And of course they were really really popular, and they had a drawstring that was like it was almost like rope. It looked
Mhm.
like a piece of rope. Um and I wanted them so bad and they were expensive. And my mom was like, I'll make you some. And she did a good job. And she got like from the trim department, she got like the rope look drawstring. So I think they were passably jams. Um so I wore them like I don't know. I can't remember when I'm trying to remember. It was maybe sixth or seventh grade.
I was gonna
I'd have to
ask,
ask my
like, how
husband.
old are you?
I'd have to ask my husband. He had some too. And I do believe his jams were homemade as well. Because my in-laws, 3 kids, and they were like, "No, we cannot afford these things." Is it just me? Do you guys remember jams? Maybe it's just a Gen X thing. These are pretty cute Sues too.
Mhm. Yeah, Godzilla Sue is just the one that's a little like, wow.
She's really big too. I want to say these blocks are probably about 10-inch
Oh
blocks.
my.
So she's pretty enormous.
She's like a 20-inch block.
Mm-hmm. Something like that, yeah. And it's almost looks like Baptist van kind of. Yeah. The quilting in this one's really simple. It's like hurt the corners, and then there's more quilting in her, and then I guess the edges are kind of these big like scallops. It's not heavily quilted, and it's got like a poofy it's got that like poofy poly batting in it. It's probably very warm.
Yeah, poly bat is like for me, it's like baking on the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much.
So
Oh, this is
this,
like storybook Sue.
yes, but don't get too excited because this is an arches quilt, an arch quilt. Arches?
Arch. I
Arch.
think it's
Yeah.
arch.
Um I paid nothing for this quilt because it's actually in terrible condition. Um
It is?
yeah, there's a lot of fabric loss in it.
Oh.
It's see, like her whole sleeve is all raggedy.
Oh, I see. Hmm.
Yeah, and this is something that should not be raggedy at all because it's not that old. But it's got the arch tag on it,
Well,
and
it just means that someone was using the crap out of it.
well, yeah, I'm sure that somebody bought this for their child's bed. You
Hmm.
know, see, like his whole outfit is all raggedy. Um, and the back of it, I think, is kind of raggedy too in the edges. But yeah, I got this one just simply because I'm like, you know, Arch made one, and um, you know, Sue is that popular, right? And you know, I just let's see, yeah, there's a symmetry to it too,
Hmm.
or at least a repetition. I don't know that there's necessarily it's that symmetrical. Not that I'm looking at it, like, how does the repetition go? It's a little odd now that I'm looking at it. Anyway, yeah, they're cute, but oh, do you, Robin? Let me see if I have one of the other ones that is a better picture. I think as I was photographing these, it was getting darker and darker and later.
You
So
lost your golden hour.
yeah. So yeah, this is like a sort of a pinky sort of cranberry flowers.
Yeah, I definitely have some of that fabric.
Yeah, I have a cheater quilt that my grandmother made. Yeah, it's a cheater quilt that my grandmother made me for I bet she probably bought it as a kit or something. But anyway, she made it, this is my dad's mother, made it for our as a wedding gift. And it's got this fabric in blue.
Hmm.
So, yeah. And by the way, if you're watching and you're going, what's an arch quilt? These are the arch quilts are the like the import quilts. They're the ones that are you know, I mean they can absolutely be handmade and sometimes hand quilted.
Yeah.
I think this is all machine, but I do have one that has some hand quilting on it. It's a tulip. But anyway, so these are the imports that they're making, and some unscrupulous dealers sometimes try to pass them off as like these, you know, vintage handmade or antique handmade, and it's like, no, they were made in a factory overseas. Granted, a human being made it, but they were just churning them out. So for the bed in a bag or whatever. But I do think Arch was like one of the nicer ones though, right? Like Arch had
Hmm.
quality, they have a tag. Um I think there's one my mom has. It's not Arch. It has some kind of different tag. But anyway.
And
Uh
sometimes, like as a dealer, you end up kind of stuck with them because if you were to buy, let's say, like a big lot of quilts online, sometimes they sneak one in there. Now, some people would be like, "Oh man, I actually get excited because I don't care about throwing those in the washing machine and putting them on my bed.
oh,
I'm just like,
okay.
oh, another quilt then that I can put on my bed."
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that, and you know, they make they're pretty, you know, in general, at least the ones I have. And
Well, and some of them, I mean, some of them are like there's a Baltimore album one,
mhm,
and they can sometimes, I mean, people do get fooled because if the tag's not
yeah.
there, sometimes, they can from a distance, Steph, and if you don't know what you're looking at, they can look real. So I kind of see it as like the best of both worlds because I'm like, oh, I could have this
Yeah.
like Baltimore album on my bed and know that like it's not the real deal.
Right. And you're not, yeah, you're not potentially drooling on beautiful handwork and such. Yeah. So yeah, this cookie cutter is a Hallmark. This was by Hallmark, the Sue cookie cutter. This is fun. So this I bought from a friend of ours who lives in Pennsylvania, and this is the beginnings, the the factory, the factory method of making, right? So
Mm.
this woman had, basted all these, gotten them ready. They're sort of odd because you look and you see the pants, and then you see this like little deal here. That's like his arms. So like technically then this is his waist. It's so weird. But what's so cute is clearly somebody's husband created these templates for them, and they are cut out of like laminate. It's literally like it's like countertop laminate. It's the best I can describe. It's like a thick plastic, and I mean you can see that it's like a, it's sort of faux marble.
Hmm.
So yeah, and she's reminded herself that the seam allowance is not included. So I'm wondering, like, possibly that multiple people made these.
I gotta tell
And
you, like, templates without the seam allowance are the strangest thing in the world to me.
well, but the thing is, though, if you're marking something, you actually, it does, your seam allowance technically doesn't matter. Linoleum, yes, Robin, that might be what it is. It has like this paper is like, but it's glued to the back of it, whatever. In any event, it's and it's not bendable, like it's firm. So I don't know what it is. It's either like a flooring tile or some kind of countertop thing. But so if you trace a pattern, like so today, if you're gonna to piece, I'll give you the example of Elizabeth Hartman's quilts because they're you kind of have to cut them out all at once because all of the pieces are lettered or numbered and they go to a specific order.
Hmm.
She's the one that makes the cute animals.
Yeah.
But they're sort of blocky looking animals. They're sort of,
Hmm.
they're based on a grid pattern. Um so you'd cut those and you've got a 1/4 inch seam allowance and you're off, right? But when you're hand piecing stuff, and you may or may not cut everything on at once or not, um, but you're gonna mark things like with a pencil, your seam
Hmm.
allowance actually doesn't matter. If you're using your marking line as your sewing line and you're carefully matching it to the sewing line on the other piece. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that's why you see in vintage and antique quilts sometimes where you've got like a giant seam allowance or an almost not even there seam allowance because they just sort of traced where they could fit it in, especially when it was a scrap, sort of fit it
Hmm.
in there and then just kind of, cut it out, eyeballing a seam allowance.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, um, anyway, yeah, I'll have to pull this stuff. I'll have to pull these out sometime, show you guys these pieces like in person. LJ says Formica countertop. It's some kind of heavy construction material. I can tell you that. It is not something like from the craft department. It is definitely something that somebody's husband pulled out of the workshop and made, and had to have cut these things out like with a saw, a scroll saw, or some kind because it's definitely too thick to cut like with scissors. It had to have been cut with a scroll saw or a bandsaw or something like that. The
Something
other
like like that. Look at
the
his
other
little butt.
I know. The other thing I love is this little pocket. Isn't that the
Yes,
cutest?
it's definitely weird though that it looks like he's got his hands in his pants. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. The
And of course, because
arms,
he's like turning away from you, like, what are you doing in there?
yeah, it's like he's peeing. It's, I think that the little cross thing, the little overalls, like our suspenders or whatever, I think that's really cute. But I just wish the arms were. He doesn't need the arms in there. They're the, you know. But it's on the pattern. It is. I've seen the pattern this comes from.
Hold on.
Jill always looking at the bright side.
Hold on 1 second. My puppy has to go out.
Um, Oops, I skipped. Okay. This, I was very excited to find this. This is another Hallmark product. This is the table cover, and I think I got the date on this. It's a 1980 something. Um, but you might recognize this fabric. And hopefully the other picture is in here where I can show you exactly what this fabric is. It's not fabric here, obviously. This is a paper tablecloth. However, this is more of it. This is the other. It's still in package. It's never been taken out of the package. This, I'm pretty sure I bought with the table covering. This is like the little happy birthday thing with the, what do you call this? The honeycomb, like the paper honeycomb thing, and it all punches out. Also very cute. Oh, this is a little ornament, cut and sew that a friend gave me. These are um, three of what I think I now have six of these because my mom has bought me some. I keep finding them. And I want to say it's this one right here was a gift from a friend and kind of started this collection of these. Um, I had not seen these before, and it's just because I hadn't been looking. Because once you start looking, you find them everywhere. But, and I mean, you can even see like the lace is similar. The lace is like I think it's almost identical, really. This one doesn't have legs, but this one does. It's a pattern somewhere, and I haven't found exactly the exact pattern, but they're needle books, by the way. I didn't say, um, but they're definitely there's definitely a pattern. I just haven't found it. I don't know why this is in there. This would be the Cranston, or no, the fabrics are Cranston. I think it's a Butterick. It's either Butterick or Simplicity pattern. This duck. My grandfather, my dad's father, he and my grandmother bought a house she had lived in when she was a teenager. Her parents had not owned it. They were yeah, Sunfun Itsu goes hunting for ducks. Well, that was really what it was about, though. So the house that they moved in, it had been a hunt club. It had been a house, and then it became a hunt club. And so my grandparents bought it. And my grandfather's great retirement plan was he got a hunting dog, and he was going to go duck hunting all the time. That was his plan. So my mom made him a duck, and it's a lovely duck. And I have it now. My grandparents passed away. It's this head is wool, and then the body, I think this is a ribbon right here, and then corduroy, and then the rest of it is Cranston fabrics. I guess this is a little bit of a trip down memory lane for me. I have forgotten about some of this. So this is actually a sunbonnet I made myself with my own two hands. And I cannot remember. I think I took this pattern. It's from a doll. It's the pattern for a doll's bonnet. This is a notebook that a mutual friend found while she was shopping. She bought it and she sent it to me. And it's got a lot of ladies. I think it's ladies art. These little swatches they're from a magazine or something, but they're advertisements for ladies art patterns. So there's a bunch of Sunbonnet Sue stuff and Colonial Lady in this little notebook. Yeah, there's the Mother Goose. So this is the Ruby Short McKim one. And I actually have I have a little quilt, a little wall hanging that's made with these two, but without the little crook and without the little horn. So they're just Sam and
Is this
Sue.
supposed to be like pregnant Sue?
Oh, it's Little Boy Blue and Bo Peep.
But like
They're wearing frocks. They're not pregnant.
I'm sorry, the one in the bottom totally looks like maternity wear to me
Yeah. All
based on
right.
how
It's
she's
maternity.
standing.
It's the Ruby Short McKim maternity Sue. This one, Romper Baby. I have a quilt top of these, and when we first saw it, I got it. And I was like, they look like Weeble Wobbles. um. Marianne. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I know what it is though. Is it ascites? I think so. The word that Marianne has used as a medical term, if you're not aware, it's when you have. I want to say, is it like when people have vascular problems, and you'll see people that have like the really kind of distended, tight belly, and it's because they're holding fluid like within their body. That's
Mhm.
within their tissues because I think like congestive heart failure kind of maybe or something, liver, kidneys, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say liver for sure
Yeah.
because it's something
Yeah.
alcoholics often
So
end up with.
yes, a bloated Sue. Yeah, it's this poor bloated Sue with the poor thing. Oh, okay. These are the people I was talking about. Dorothy May and Harold Groves. So these are the people that did these sunbonnet books where they solicited patterns for people. They were like, send us your patterns. Some of them were actual, like, had been published, but they gave no attribution. Yay for the 80s and 90s. um, yeah. Oh, so this is some fabric. So I've collected so much Sunbonnet Sioux fabric. People send it to me. Like I think there was a few pieces I bought off of eBay, but now it's like people just send it to me and I'm like, haven't seen this one before. Ah, okay. So these were for a lecture, my Sunbonnet Sue lecture, and I talked about strawberry shortcake and some parallels with strawberry
Yeah,
shortcake.
Sue-esque.
Yep. I don't know why I have so many pictures. um, these are particularly cute. Both of these.
Mhm.
These I think are kind of panel-ish. I think they're meant to
Wow,
be
look,
cut.
it's actual like anthropomorphized Sioux people.
Yeah.
They actually look like full humans
Um,
now.
yeah, and look, they're holding hands. Oh.
As we
But yeah, I think these were meant. They're little scenes, and so I think they
Hold
were
on
meant to
one
be cut apart and
My
used
dog
as
has
like.
gotten into the trash. Yum.
There's a strawberry shortcake fabric coming out soon. Um, yeah, there's been some. I'll have to keep an eye out for. I know there's always. I feel like strawberry shortcake. They keep kind of. They brought her back, and they keep it going, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, I usually don't. I don't love novelty fabrics so much. Like I bought a bunch of Star Wars fabric and made my son a Star Wars quilt, but I'm not usually drawn to that kind of licensed character kind of thing. But strawberry shortcake is like from my childhood, and I do love that stuff. So, and Hello Kitty, those are the two, and there's some Hello Kitty in here too, I think. um this fabric was so fun because it's the little Sue, but then also this really cool stylized like tulip deal. Eleanor Peace Bailey, she did these two sunbonnet dolls and this little quilt. And I want to say I could have gotten that the bonnet that I put on the duck. It might have been from this pattern. I can't remember. Oh gosh, I forgot I had this book. So this is the Japanese Sunbonnet Sue. Um, the Japanese quilters, they love Sunbonnet Sue. Yep, this is the other one. So I had two. And these are cute, these little hats, because I want to say in this book, they do the applique, the little Sue applique, but I think if I remember correctly, they show making some of the bonnets into like pot holders or trivets.
Hmm.
So this was the issue of Quilt Folk. I think Arizona. It's either Arizona or New Mexico. Is it written on here?
I hate that they don't put it on there.
It's on the spine. It'll be on the spine, not the front.
I want it on the front too.
But this is the Native American version of Sue, and this is the woman who designed this. I think is featured in the magazine. And I think it's so charming with her. She's got the is it a rip? No. Oh gosh, what is it called? The wrap?
So like a serape?
No, it's got it. It starts with an R.
Oh.
Ah, it'll come to me. I saw an entire exhibit of them at the Mingay when I was in San Diego.
Oh.
But anyway, it's like the you know, the little sort of like shawl kind of. For some reason I have Dorothy May and Harold in there again. Okay, so these are the House of the White Birches books. So these were on the back of the book. So yeah, I was right, Miriam. This is it's the same publishing company that did your book that did all
Man,
of
the
these.
cover of those, I don't know why, but they're giving me like serious American Girl doll vibes.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I don't know why.
So the Jean Ray Laurie, I only
What?
have this one.
Sunbonnet Sue gets it all together at home?
Yeah, did you know about these?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Jean Ray Laurie published these. So there's this one. There's Sunbonnet Sue Goes to the Quilt Show. And I think it's like Sunbonnet Sue Makes a Quilt or there's 3 of them. I only have this one. Back when I first started collecting stuff, these were not that expensive now. And I mean, we're talking within a few years' time. I blame Mary. Mary got a bunch of people interested in this stuff. And now it's impossible to find these without, they're like $50 a piece. And they are literally like just thin little paper books. They're not very much to them, but they're very cute. I mean, it's Jean Ray Laurie.
And these give me the vibes of the Berenstain Bears.
Okay. So this was Sunbonnet Sue in overalls Jim. This is the first time I've seen Jim. But this is a little book. It's like a little
silent reading seat work and
yes, this is,
thoughts.
and I think this is from the teens or the 20s. I think for some reason it's sticking in my head that it's like 1920 something. But it's literally a little child's like workbook for classroom workbook.
Look, people agree with my assessment.
The American Girls are one thing I mean, I know what they are, obviously, and but I just have never paid any attention to them because it was just at a time.
Well, you wouldn't. Yeah, I was gonna say it's past. You were past.
I was too old for them when they came out. I want to say they got popular. I was in college, maybe.
Yeah, they got popular in the 90s.
Yeah, well, I mean, I graduated from high school in 91, so
there you go.
And of course, I had a boy who was not interested in too many doll babies, so much as I tried. Okay, so this is the Hallmark Sue again for Christmas. Okay, if you really are interested in Sunbonnet Sue, and you want to see like what the Sunbonnet Sues look like over the course of, millennia, the Betty Hagerman book, I would call this is the Bible, the Sunbonnet Sue Bible.
So
this only goes up to like 1978, I think.
But does this one go as far back as the cave stone drawings of Sunbonnet Sue?
Yeah, Sunbonnet Sue with her bonnet and her loincloth. Yes. But yes, she charted like all of the she found, kind of like Barbara Brackman did with quilt blocks. She did with Sunbonnet Sue. Betty Hagerman is she was the president of the Kansas City Quilt Guild that Barbara Brackman was a member of.
Okay.
If you all remember your history, your recent history, Barbara
Mhm.
Brackman and a couple of other women in that quilt guild are responsible for the sunsets on Sunbonnet Sue.
Mhm.
And that was a direct um, shots fired at Betty Hagerman because she loved Sunbonnet Sue a whole bunch. And they were sick of seeing Sunbonnet Sue at every like guild meeting, every guild show. She was like, just like, I get it sounds like the only kind of quilts she ever made were Sunbonnet Sue quilts. So I'm like, cut the lady some slack. She had an obsession.
I was gonna say, has anyone done that yet then in regards to like Judy Niemeyer or oh, what's the other one that does those kinds of quilts? Those ones that almost kind of look like kaleidoscopy. They're often FPP.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Judy Niemeyer. I'm having a brain fart.
Well, this is a bookmark that Hallmark was giving out or something. It came with the cookie cutter. So the duck again. Okay, these again. Oh, here's Huckleberry Pie. He is he is to strawberry shortcake what overall Jim, Sam, oh, what's the other name? There's three overalls. And then there's Farmer Fred and Fisherman Fred. Sue gets around, y'all.
And then what was there, like hands in your pants Hank or something?
He's just overall Sam. Oh, that was the backside of him. He has his hands in a questionable sort of position as well, but if we look carefully, he's holding a basket of strawberries.
Or that's what they want you to think.
I guess. Yeah. So this top one is actually a vintage repro, I think. Um, but it's Sunbonnet Sue and all these little animals.
She got some legs. Oh my goodness, look at the one where she's bending over.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually have. Yeah, she's got her little bloomers. Oh, it was a basket of huckleberries. Oh,
Wow, they're starting to get a little scandalous there with Sue.
well. Okay, and I don't know why I have so many of the same pictures. Okay, so this is the fabric I was trying to get to. This is Cranston VIP. Um, these cut and sew pieces. Does she look familiar, y'all? Did you not just see her somewhere in this batch of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been
The
trying to
Christmas
figure
stuff.
out. Well, yeah, there was Christmas wrap, and then there was the birthday stuff. I think the birthday stuff is when you got up and let the dog out. um, so yeah, at some point, Hallmark, like, I guess licensed as is Sunbonnet Sue because this is identical. I think the flower is red, in the birthday stuff, but it's the identical thing, fabric and everything. And then of course this side-eye chicken. Side-eye chicken might be one of my absolute favorite things of all time. um, and I'm gonna pull up the. I'm pulling up the
So,
wrapping
little
for number.
side note, I'm eating the best grapes in the world.
Oh, so see, so the blue has been replaced with red, and the flower is different. You know the colors, but it's still it's like identical.
Mm.
So yeah, I was just really interested. Like, what an interesting licensing deal, you know? And I was kind of like, did Hallmark do that often?
I wouldn't be surprised. What is this creepiness?
Sunbonnet Sue.
And of course, she has to be on the cover of the book, almost naked.
She's wearing her little romper. She's like a 3-year-old. But look, she's got real hair. It's not real human hair. It's
Yeah, I know. This is
but
I find this really creepy.
but yeah, I got this off of eBay. Here you can see how to arrange her hair. Apparently you had to like punch out these slots and put the hair in there. Open the package of lifelike curls. Carefully put them in the slot. Um I thought I saw somewhere like what this hair is, but maybe I'm thinking of something else I have.
I'm sure it's
Um
synthetic, whatever. If it's real hair, then it's super creepy.
it's definitely not real hair. It's 100% something plastic, but I could have sworn that it was like now with some kind of hair.
Yeah,
Creepy.
Robin agrees.
I don't know, her little outfits are awfully cute.
Heaven forbid she gets to be on the cover wearing one.
Well, but that's the thing. This is the doll.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
Like, see where she's punched out.
but that's the cover of the book.
Right. But it's also the doll itself. That you
I know.
punch her out.
Yeah, yeah. It's really creepy.
So this is another half done project that somebody sent me.
That is incredibly thin neck still.
Well, Colonial Lady, and I believe this is actually not embroidered. Or no, it is embroidered, but it's embroidered over some really dark pencil lines. So it's
Her clothes are also way too big for her. Look at how like the top there's like this big gap where her neck
yeah,
is supposed to be.
she's really struggling. But these are all the pieces that have been cut out for several of these blocks.
Oh my God. I'm really upset that when these grapes are going to be gone. Because they are, does anyone else like really crunchy, crispy grapes?
So this is a sunbonnet baby. This is Mandy. There are three sunbonnet babies. I don't remember the other two's name. The names of the other two.
Knickerbocker?
Yeah. Yeah, but these you can see this is the Bertha Corbett's original illustrations.
Do you do you have this from your childhood?
No, this is something that I bought off eBay. Tiny hand Sue. So this, a friend of ours saw this. She was teaching in another state. And she stayed, I don't know if she was there for like an extra day or two. And so she did a little bit of antique shopping while she was there. She sent a picture. I was busy. I want to say she sent the picture to you, though. I can't remember if she sent it to me. But in any
She
event,
sent it to both of us.
I was busy. I didn't see her message. If I had seen her message right away, I'd been like, "Oh my God, buy it. I will reimburse you and we'll figure out shipping." Because this is it's in glass. It's like a framed thing. Um, but by the time I saw it, she was long gone. And when she got back home and she said, "Okay, well, here's the shop. This is where it is." So I reached out to these people and I sent them the picture she sent me. And I said, "Do you still have this?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah." And I was like, "Well, I live in Maryland, but I want to buy it." And so I did. And they were like, "Well, it's going to be $15 shipping." And I was like, "Okay, I don't have any problem with that." And then I'm pretty sure that they spent a lot more on shipping. And I mean, I
Well,
feel bad for that, but
didn't they also like drag their butt? Didn't you
they
like not
did.
yeah, didn't you like pay them and then like not hear anything for a while
Yeah,
and
and I was starting to get really irritated and kind of worried. I was like, "Oh my God, did they take my money and like they're not going to send this?" And I think what it was she came up with a shipping amount and then went to ship it and found out how much it was going to cost and went, "Oh crap, we're going to have to take a loss on this." And I feel bad. Like, and I wanted this bad enough that I would have paid just about anything to ship it because I think like the actual cost of this item was like
was
15 or
low.
$20.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was low.
nothing. So anyway, but just this tiny little hand is just and here's the thing. This pattern itself, this piece right here that looks like a cuff, that's the hand. That's the hand for this pattern. Because I've seen this pattern. and that's supposed to be her hand. But yeah, they did something totally different. So,
Maybe I kind of wonder if like maybe like the original person forgot the hand, so like somebody just came in and went like and like drew it in.
oh, November 2026 plus machine embroidery for shortcake. Oh, okay. Do you, what fabric line is it, Marianne? There's more of those little guys. I think we might be getting to more like, oh, these are Kate Greenaway embroidery. This is a little Dutch girl. Little Dutch girl is kind of a
I
sideline
think
to.
I think our friend gave you that.
She did. Yeah. There's another little Dutch girl. And there is a the Dutch girls, because Bertha Corbett also illustrated the Dutch cleanser. So that's, you've got some overlap here. That's where I have these. This was funny. I bought this off of a friend of ours, and I think she was kind of like, "Really? You really want this?" Not so much because of this one, but because of this.
Oh.
She's the girl. Got the little braids. I thought she was so adorable. These were another nightmare item I bought off of like Mercari or something. Um I think that the listing called them him and her.
Oh.
And she had a popsicle stick woven into the crochet here, like
Oh,
jammed in there
to keep her dress like
with something.
hot.
No, it was just to like, I can't remember what it said on it. It was something like pot
You will die
holder or
soon.
kitchen decor or something. I don't know. So this is the Sunbonnet Babies.
Are they holding socks?
Yeah, they're knitting socks. These are door jam, door stops. They're I think it's a Hubler, or I can't remember. It's a very famous brand of cast iron door door stops and other stuff. This is Kate Greenaway. This is on a crazy quilt I own. And this begins the gallery of the ones that got away. So I will only show this one. And I fought hard for it because he's so cute. Isn't he? Look at his little chaps, his little pants.
And we know where his hands are and what they're doing.
Oh, I fought so hard for this, and I got, like, they sniped me at the last minute. And they're just the blocks. It's not a completed quilt. So.
Wow. I need to stop eating these grapes.
I need to get food. I just realized it's like, is it 4:30? I had, like, the beginning of my lunch when we first got on here, and then
There seems to be this universe rule for you that you don't think about food much until 5 minutes to a Zoom call of any kind. Because more
well,
often than not, you are eating when we get on a Zoom call. And don't get me wrong, I know some people have issues with people eating on a call. I do not.
I don't love, because I can see myself. I don't want to watch myself eat. I don't.
Don't look at it. You also sit there and you watch yourself in a mirror while you're at the salon. And I don't know why, but as soon as we all sit in that salon chair, all of a sudden, like, we all turn into like swamp goblin gremlin looking things. Like, so, and I find that really awkward to sit in there and stare at yourself at the salon.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't like to sit and stare at myself much. But
I
see,
don't,
here's the thing with food though, is like when I know that I'm going into something that, like, a meeting or a stream that I know is going to be a while, I always grab something to eat because I'm like, maybe not starving when it starts, but I'm like, it's gonna be at least 2 hours. Like I know I'm gonna be hungry, you know? So that's why I try to like have something before I eat so that I'm not like grumpy and weird by you
Well,
know?
that's also why I often have, like, some trail mix nearby or just, like, something you can just kinda, like,
Yeah,
quietly
something
munch on.
snacky. Yeah, like I'll have like before my streams, I often will have a cheese stick or some crackers and pepperoni or something like
I know,
that,
but
you
I
know?
just feel like every time I get on a thing with you're just like, like, your lunch or your dinner or something. Um, is it Winnie, you can't come up here right now. Could you please just have a life somewhere else for this moment? I'm gonna kill this dog. Um, is
Poor
it
dog.
going to be a chicken sandwich type of day? Sunday and have decided we're gonna have burgers for dinner, like
Oh.
homemade burgers.
No, I actually have to run a couple of errands. And I'm probably gonna pick up some carryout. And it will probably like hibachi or something like that.
Mm.
There's a place here. I don't think they're national. I think they're just here in Maryland, but they have multiple locations. It's called Quickway, and it's like Japanese like teppanyaki, hibachi, whatever. But it's super cheap. It's like the mall. At the mall in the food court, and there would be the person standing there in front of the little Japanese teppanyaki, and they oh, you want to try one bourbon chicken, bourbon chicken. That's essentially what it is. But it's cheap and it's really good. It's chicken. Um, they're like chicken thigh meat and like enough. I mean, like a bowl of vegetables the size of my head. Delicious.
Yeah, there's a place that is they have like full on hibachi, big thing with a bunch of people sitting around, which I I don't dislike hibachi in this. I like the food. I don't always love like the show.
We're talking about like Betty Hanna kind of stuff.
Yeah, cuz like I don't okay, thank you. Um I don't I don't want to have to like
Catch a shrimp in your mouth.
yeah, like I don't wanna, like, have this expectation put on me to, like, be an audience when, like, I'm trying to have dinner.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
the other thing too is that I would be more likely to go to one of those if I had a group that would fill the whole table. I don't wanna
Yes,
sit with
yes.
strangers.
Yeah, the times that I've been so like the very first time I went to a Japanese steakhouse, I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. And my mom, it would have been my grandparents, my dad and his brother, my mom, me, and maybe his sister. Probably was his sister too. So it probably would have been enough of us to have our own table. And my mom said, and my grandparents always talked about it, my mom said, your eyes just went like, whoop, like, what is this? And that guy came out and started you know, and I was like, what? But I have to admit, the food is pretty good. If you
Yeah.
go to a good one. There's one in Southern Maryland, on your way to Point Lookout, St. Mary's County, like the farthest south in Maryland you can get. Before that, there is a nondescript shopping center with a very, very good Japanese steakhouse in it
Hmm.
or there used to be. I haven't been there in a while, so.
Well, this place that we can go, you don't have to sit at the hibachi to get, like, hibachi food. So, one of the options I mean, their menus are massive, but one of the options they have is you can get, like, hibachi stuff in, like, a bento box scenario.
Mm.
So, you get your hibachi, you might get, like, a little bit of rice, you'll get, like, a small sushi roll, you'll get, like, 1 or 2, like, gyozas or dumplings, and then, like, a couple pieces of tempura.
Mm.
And then you also get, like, a soup and a salad, like, it's crazy, but, like, it's really good, and
That's
now
a
I'm sitting
lot.
well, keep in mind, the portions
I
are
know
super
it's
small,
tiny,
is the
but
whole thing.
still, that's a lot of stuff,
I
even if it's
mean, when you
little bits.
consider a lot of Asian cuisine, though, like, they have, like Koreans, when they do banchan, and it's, like, 800 tiny dishes, Um, but I'm just thinking like, man, that sounds really yummy. Maybe I don't want
If you
burgers.
don't want burgers anymore.
Yeah, I'm just like, maybe we eat burgers tomorrow.
Sorry, Sunday. I think you're having a hibachi tonight.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, that sounds really good. And I'm thinking like, and it's also like that time of day where we could beat the oldest couple in town to the early bird dinner,
Only if
which
you hurry. It's already 8,
I
let's
love.
see. I'm sorry. 4:38 my time. Also your time.
Mm. Yeah, well, that might be the plan. Okay. Well, on that note, then I guess I'm gonna go get to work on my plan.
Well, and I will just be running errands. I have to go to the pharmacy and pick up a prescription. Like,
Boo hiss.
well, see, I'll be back on Monday for my stream, and we start, let's not forget, we start this wonderful book on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, if you didn't watch our video on Tuesday, hopefully you at least checked out the assignment. If you didn't, I'll cut you some slack here and say that it is the intro in chapter 1 that we have to read.
Yeah, you actually just reminded me that I should post reminders. It's gonna take a minute. It always takes a second, like when we start a new book, for me to get back into like the swing of making sure I'm carving out time to read. But it's good for me.
I was just looking at a quilt. Now, where is this quilt from? There is no attribution on the photo.
Oh my god, I'm gonna eat this dog.
This one. Look at that eagle.
Oh, of course. You're like, eagle.
Yeah, there's some eagles in here that I either have never seen before or haven't seen in haven't really looked at in a long time. So I'll definitely be eagling it up with this book. So,
All
right. Well, we will see you guys soon. Hope the rest of your weekend is wonderful. Winnie, behave yourself.
Yeah, right. She's like, no, I'm not gonna behave myself.
Poor thing. She's like, ha ha.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not gonna behave myself. I'm gonna go try to eat the trash.
As one does. All right. On that note, we'll see you guys soon. Mwah! Bye.